What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Tech Cubed. And today we are checking out something called RedStar OS. Now, I can't blame you if you've never heard of it, because basically it is the state-approved operating system in North Korea. Now, what that means is basically the few people that can afford a computer or internet or anything like that in North Korea, basically, this is your only option for an operating system. And as you will expect, it's decked out with spyware and stuff like that to make sure that, if you have some illegal content, they can come and take you to a re-education camp. And basically what it is, it's Linux, and it's built off Fedora, and it uses the KDE desktop interface. And if you look at some of these pictures right here, this one is the one we're going to be checking out, which is 3.0. We'll get to the different versions in a minute. But basically, it looks a lot like Mac OS. And the reason behind that is, I guess Kim Jong-un really likes Macs and Apple products. I guess he has his own iMac or something like that. So yeah, basically, it looks a lot like macOS, and you'll see that in just a few minutes because we're gonna get it installed in a virtual machine and test it out. And now here's something that interests me right here. If we come down, because we have a Wikipedia article that explains and goes through everything about it, but if we come down here, system requirements, apparently the minimum requirement is an 800 megahertz Intel Pentium 3 processor with 256 megabytes of memory and 3 gigabytes of space. That's very little, like, requirements. Like, that's underpowered, but maybe it's for a different version. I'm not sure. Because like a Pentium 3, that's like what you'd run like Windows 98 or in some cases Windows 95, I guess, on. Because yeah, the Pentium 4 was really in the Windows XP era, and then I guess they had the early Core Duos, and that did I don't know. But basically, if you come down to your version history, we have these three versions. We're going to be checking out version 3.0 today, and there's very little information on version 4.0, but yeah, we're just going to be checking out version 3.0 today. There are a couple different versions as well. Like version 2.0 we could also get, but this is the main one that we have access to, the most latest one that we can get, and that was introduced on April 15th, 2012. It looks reminiscent of the macOS operating systems. Yeah, I mean, we already kind of went over that. Um, Basically, so it's 2012. Now, this may not look a lot like some of the more modern operating systems like Big Sur or Catalina or whatever. However, this was around the macOS Snow Leopard Lion era, so it looks a lot like that. And honestly, it looks pretty nice from these pictures. But we'll have to get into that and kind of see how everything works and if it's well optimized. Because I can't expect that the North Korean developers know a whole lot about how to make an operating systems. But yeah, we'll check that out. So if we go over here to RedStar on Archive OS, which is the archive of operating systems, this is I'll link this in the description below. This is where you can download it, the ISO disk image, and then you can install it in a virtual machine. Or I guess you can burn it to a DVD or CD or something like that. But yeah, we're just gonna down because I already have it. But if you want it, then you come into this link I'll have in the description below, and you can choose 3.0 or 2.0. As far as I know, those are the only two you can get. Maybe there's this one 1.0 somewhere on the internet, but this is where I would get it from because this is I know it's safe from here. As well as this last thing I have right here is this WordPress article I have found that basically it describes how to install it in an English language. Well, get it into an English language, and I guess it'll be installed in Korean, but then we'll have to change it to English. So yeah, there'll be some steps in how we can gain root access, connect to the internet, and I guess there's a couple parts to it too, because this is part 2 now. So this is what we're going to use to help us while we're installing it. So yeah, that's what that's about. I'm going to keep this over here in my other monitor. So I'm going to bring this over here, and then I will get VirtualBox going as well. Now this is what we're going to use to install our virtual machine. So we're going to come over here, and we're going to go to New, and we're going to change our machine folder to my different drive, my hard drive, instead of my main solid state drive, because I don't want to keep this for incredibly long because I don't want any of the spyware that they may have on here to leak into my main operating system, and I can't get it out. But yeah, we're gonna call it Red Star OS, and it's set to Linux, which is good. But Red Hat, I guess it makes sense why it automatically defaults to it. But we're gonna go for Fedora 64-bit, because that's what it's based on. Should we go for Fedora 64-bit or 32-bit? I'm not sure. I think it's 64-bit, but I'm not incredibly sure. Don't quote me on that, because it could be 32-bit. But we're gonna leave it as 64-bit. We're gonna give it 4 gigs of memory, which is not a lot, being that the system requirements are currently 256 megs, even though that just may be for a different version of RedStar OS, because I guess you can't get that better technology in North Korea. And we're gonna, oh, I guess we have to set it back to Fedora because I want to change it for 3.0, because we might check out 2.0 some other time, but yeah, we're gonna keep this for now. Actually, I think we're gonna increase the RAM to 6 gigabytes, because that actually, now that I think about it more, seems like better. um, yeah, we're gonna leave it at, I'm not sure which one to leave it on. We can leave it on, uh, yeah, let's leave it on 6142. I think that's it. Yeah, because 496, yeah, I'm not incredibly sure, which equals exactly 6 gigs of RAM, but that should be enough. Because I have 64 gigs of RAM on my computer, so this should be more than enough, and it won't bog down my machine or something. As far as file size and I guess the virtual hard drive this thing will be, we'll set it to VirtualBox disk image, have it dynamically allocated, and we'll give it, we'll be generous and we'll give it 32 gigs. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. We'll create that right there, and it pops up right here, RedStar OS 3.0. Now we have to go into settings and change a few things. So the first of which being, we're going to come to system, we're going to set the hard disk to the top so it's faster boot. We're going to give it 2 processors, because we don't want to mess with that single processor stuff. Especially, I guess it sort of has some 3D aspects going on, but I'm not incredibly sure about anything here because I don't spend my entire time experimenting with North Korean technology. But we're gonna set the video memory up to 128. Monitor count, we're gonna keep it 1. Oh yeah, 128 megs video memory. Now, as far as the graphics controller, I've experimented a little bit with this before the video, not too much to where it ruins the experience. Because like, I haven't connected to internet or obtained root access or anything like that, but I just want to kind of see, and I couldn't get it in a 16:9 aspect ratio. So yeah, we're just gonna keep it as this, because I don't think the graphics controller really matters, because I couldn't get a 16:9 aspect ratio. But we're gonna come down to storage, and for the most important part, we're gonna put in our ISO right here, which you get that from that one website. I'm gonna link in the description below. And then we can set it to OK, and then we can see if it'll boot. The first time I tried to boot this, it took like a couple minutes, which was like a first for a virtual machine, but I guess it um, gets over it now. And we'll set it to that, and we'll start it up right here. And from that WordPress article, I have to go in here and escape, rapidly press escape, and I'm trying to bring the article up right now. And basically, if we can get the first little bit in English, what we can do is we can go back in here and type in Linux lang equals en, which will set it to English if we're lucky. I think it will though, because I tested this out um, earlier in some of my testing, and it did set it to English, the installer at least, but I'm not incredibly sure if it'll work every time. But it'll take a couple minutes to start up. Well, maybe not that long, but I do have this on my regular hard drive, so and I'm sure that yeah, well, it's slower than a solid state drive, of course, but I don't know. I mean, my hard drive's where I keep all my virtual machines. Yeah, it's already seemed to be starting up, and as we can see here, where it says next, we successfully got bits of it in English. Now, not all of it will be in English because some bits are still images, as you see right here, that's gonna be stuck in Korean. But everything else right here, that's actual text, is in English. And I guess right here, the partition table on the device disk was unreadable. To create new partitions, it must be initialized, causing the loss of all data on the drive. This operation will override any previous installation choices about which drives to ignore. Would you like to initialize this drive, erasing all data? Yeah, it's a virtual drive on my actual drive, so I'm fine with erasing everything on it because there's nothing there. And we'll set it to here, which is a 13, I mean, not 13, a 32 gigabyte virtual drive we created. Let's do next. For a username, let's do Kim Jong-un. I'm not sure if that's how you spell his name. I think it is, but I'm not sure. And I want to put is this so the North Korean spies I guess don't show up at my house tonight. Um, yeah. Password we'll do North. Let's do North Korea. Wait, I want to type it in right. I keep messing up. North Korea. Set to North Korea. We'll set both to North Korea, and our password hint will be best country. There we go. So that's perfectly set up right there. What about the images? Oh, we can change the images too, I guess. We'll set it to camera, because it's always watching, I guess. And we'll do next. Now, on the article I have right here, it says that, I believe, let me get it back up here, that, um, uh, oh yes, that the DCH P oh no, DHCP is disabled by default, so we're gonna set it to using DHCP, which I believe is what we're supposed to do, but I'm not incredibly sure. Um, but yeah, because I haven't really tested about getting an online app, but I think that is what we have to do to make it to work. And there's customize right here. Applications utility. I have no idea what that is. Uh, hmm. if someone in the comments would translate these little bits to from Korean to English to me, that'd be nice. Even though I don't think any of this matters because it's stuck in customization. Yes, it really reminds me of Snow Leopard, where you would be able to customize what you want. So if you wanted, I think it was QuickTime 7 is some of the other applications, like the additional fonts and stuff, then you could customize to include it or not include it. So we'll go to install, and as far as I know, this might take a little while. But yeah, I'll be back when it finishes. So the operating system finally installed. It took a long time, but I guess the system is ready to reboot now. So we will do that. And yeah, and now we are able to boot into the RedStar OS desktop. I'm actually going to kind of full screen this, even though it won't go into 16:9 aspect ratio. Yeah, if you as you notice here, with the little spinny wheel and the Red Star logo, it looks exactly like Snow Leopard um, 10.6, and that's of course on purpose. But still, I just find how funny it is that they basically just Control C, Control V a bunch of the aspects from macOS here. And even the little spinny wheel, if you saw the installation, it's like exactly the same. Which is a little different, of course, but it's still basically the same thing. And yeah, I see, look at the little spinny wheel. Exactly the same. Okay, Kim Jong-un. Okay, I'm gonna go North Korea. Yeah, put in North Korea. That's the password here. That's the password. Okay, so it is booting now. And yeah, Mac OS. That's I'm getting a lot of vibes from here. Um, so I mean, even like the little bits here with like the Finder and stuff like that. I mean, the Finder, I think that's the browser, video players, stuff like that. And they got all the other things in here. But the first thing I'm gonna try and do though is get this into English, and I have that article right here, which is um, okay. So I think I have to run um root to be able to do it. Okay, so we're gonna obtain root access. Okay. Yeah, capture. And we're gonna go to here, here, here. And then that'll bring up a little terminal thing right here. And yeah. Okay. So I think we have to go to root setting. Okay, and then we could do the little lock here, and I think we have to input our password now. And then we click the little box here. What was this little bit here? Checkbox for password for the new root user. Okay, so we can just do that now. And yeah, I think we are able to do that now. Okay, so we did that, and I guess we're root now. So to get it into English, we have to open up a new Finder window and input some more commands. Um, and I guess a lot of the programs they have English translations as well. So we're gonna close this out right here, and we're gonna go back here. We have to the mouse disappears. If you notice the mouse cursor disappearing like little bits right here. So when I open this and I click this, my mouse cursor disappears when going right there. It gets a little annoying after a while. Um, so yeah, so we have to do su. Okay, and that'll let's do root. And I'm trying to enter this command correctly the first time. However, I'm not sure if I'll do it correctly because I have trouble typing a lot of commands in at times. Okay, so I just typed in the command, and I believe that got it into English. So we'll restart, and I think this is restart. Yeah, that's restart. So we'll restart system, and I think we'll be in English when we reboot the system, and then we could look through all the menus and stuff like that. Okay, so it rebooted, and we boot back into here, and yeah, it should work. Okay, so the system rebooted. Now we have to enter our password. Okay, and log in. And now I think we're in English. At least we should be. Okay, so yeah, we are in English now, and everything works in English. Um, yeah, everything's here and all of it. Yeah, the K Finder, the Narrow Browser. I think that's how you pronounce it. QuickTime Player. They didn't even bother changing that name. KCal, Address Book, and some of the rip-offs of macOS applications in here. So yeah, I think that ends this part. This is gonna be a two-part little thing right here. Next episode, we're gonna try and connect to the internet, and we're gonna look through a bunch of the files and stuff and see what spyware we can find on here, and maybe disable some of the security stuff. But yeah, the next episode to this is not gonna take that long. It'll be out in a couple days or so. Um, yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed this first sort of look at RedStar OS here. Um, and yeah, I'll see you all in the next video. Tech Cubed, over and out.